Drake has had many beefs, some in his favor, some not in his favor. One thing about the guy, he is a true rapper in its true form, and he loves to sneak diss people all the time. By the way, Drake is like my favorite rapper anyway, so this is not me dragging him before we get into it. But I wanted to talk about Law 15 from the 48 Laws of Power, which is crush your enemy totally. So in this video, we're going to be discussing how Drake managed to crush Meek Mill totally and ensure that he was never a problem again, but how he didn't use the same tactics with Kanye West, and now Kanye West is forever a problem with Drake, right? I mean, even to this day, they're still having beef. Most recently, Drake released a song called Seek and Destroy, in which he sampled Kim Kardashian, talking about how she was unhappy in her marriage with Kanye. So yeah, we're gonna get all into the tea, but at the same time, talk about the 48 Laws of Power and how he applied it and how he also didn't apply it. Okay, we're gonna have 2 case studies, okay? You're welcome. Hi, my name is Bolaji. I'm a creative marketing consultant. I've worked with healthcare brands, musicians, dating apps, social media apps to help them think of creative marketing campaigns to take their brand to the next level. And like, that's just what I do. That's what I do. But this particular video is part of my 48 Laws of Power series, which I'm gonna go through every rule in the book. Yes, I have the hard copy. This is not the hard copy, this is the soft copy, whatever. I have the copy. Before we start, I just want to read an overview of the chapter so we get what's going on with this law. All great leaders since Moses have known that a feared enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learnt this the hard way. If one ember is left alight, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than through total annihilation. The enemy will recover and will seek revenge. Crush him not only in body, but in spirit. This book is dark. Moving on to a time where Drake totally crushed his enemy. So Drake and Meek have had a long history of featuring together. Their first song together was Amen, in which Drake says, "Me and Meek, young niggas popping like a collars up." Then we move on to Rico, where it's featuring Drake, and then there's a problem that arises, right? Because Meek Mill, he's like, oh no, stop comparing me to Drake. He don't write his own raps. That's why he ain't tweet my album, because we found out. Damn, me. That was a whole palaver. That was a whole fiasco. It was exposed that Drake doesn't write his own bars. The Quinton Millen reference tracks came out.
Oh, money, new women, gotta keep it bouncing. The girl of your dreams to me is probably not a challenge.
There was no, Even then I was like, Judge Drake, I have not, I will defend Drake, but Drake, I can't defend you. The reference tracks. Drake was not having that, and he totally crushed Meek Mill. Like, I'm not gonna, I'll be the first to say it. So he first released Charged Up. He said, "Niggas snitching on us without any interrogation." Oh, Meek, what you gonna say, Meek? What you gonna say? Meek replies, his bars are baby soft. Well, Meek, where were your bars? Where were your bars? Before Meek even had a chance to return the diss, what did Drake do? He releases back-to-back. Drake releases back-to-back. Is that a world tour or your girls tour? Hey, don't make my me. When that song came out, it's over. I'm a Drake fan, so that's, I'm biased, okay? So don't take my word for it. But it was over, you know what I mean? Meek then, he tried to release, what he released? What he tried to release? I wrote it down. Wanna Know. He released a song called Wanna Know. No one wanted to know. And I think he was even trying to use The Undertaker's theme tune. The Undertaker tried to sue him, said, don't use my music for that shit. No. In that he said, tell me who the fuck Quinton was running through the 6 with. That's a good bar. That's a good bar, because Drake was running through the 6 with his woes, but it was Quinton. It was Quinton. Back to back, that was the first diss song to be nominated by a Grammy. It did waves. Like, literally everybody loved that song. Like, Drake even had another diss track called 3P, which he was going to release, but he didn't release it, but he performed it on stage. Look,
man, I said, you don't want that 3P?
Pause. I just wanted to say, if you like this video, then definitely subscribe to me and like this video. It really helps the channel a lot. And also, if you want to book a consultation with me to talk about your brand and how we can get it to the next level, click the link in my description bar. Let's get back to this video. Let's talk about when Drake didn't crush his enemy and how it has affected him so far. So Drake and Kanye first worked together on Find Your Love. I didn't even know that, but yeah, Kanye West produced the song Find Your Love, and that went number 5 on the Billboard charts. Later on in the song Thank Me Now, Drake sends his first diss to Kanye, in which he says, now that's around the time your allies become your rivals. Moving on from that, actually Kanye West stated that Watch Your Throne, which was him and Jay-Z's joint tape, tape album was actually inspired by Drake, because Kanye said that Drake was putting so much pressure on him, he had to release something that was magical. And yeah, Watch the Throne was magical. I think between them, they both really push each other creatively. I mean, Kanye stated that, and I'm sure Drake is the same. Like, he's always probably got his eye on Kanye, like, what's this nigga doing? I need to be better than him. Which is probably why he did his little night collab with the Nocta. Okay, anyway. In the song Summer 16, the beef seems to be a bit reunited again, and Drake says, Ye's pool is nice, mine's just big is what I'm saying. Yeah. Moving on, Pusha T then dissed Drake on a Kanye produced song. Pusha T exposes the fact that Drake has a baby and he's a deadbeat father. It wasn't me that said that, that's what Pusha said, okay? Drake responded to that diss, and it's called Duppy Freestyle, but most of the time he's actually taking shots at Kanye, even though Pusha's the one that dissed him. Moving on, we get In My Feelings, in which Drake says, Kiki, do you love me? Ah! What a time. Anyway, apparently that Kiki is supposed to be Kim Kardashian. That is totally alleged, because I don't believe that for a second, but you know.
You know, if I had a girlfriend from Chicago, her name was Renita, and then you was married to Rihanna, I wouldn't make no song called Riri.
And then obviously we end with the Seek and Destroy sample. Okay, we can see the clear distinction between how Drake handled Kanye and how Drake handled Meek. I feel like that situation was really, really beneficial for Drake's career. It took him to another level, because Meek at the time, how he started, he was a battle rapper. So the fact that he can come to Drake with no bars after you exposed him for not having no bars, Meek, it ain't make no sense. It helped Drake, but the thing is, he could have just dropped one diss track, but no, he dropped 3, well, 2.5. He didn't give Meek a chance to get his bar. No, don't get your bars together. Don't get your people together. Like, if this was a war, you trying to get the soldiers together. No, I'm not giving you a chance to get the soldiers together. This is Game of Thrones. But what I'm saying is, Drake literally did not give Meek a chance to breathe, and I think it negatively impacted Meek's career. Like, for a really, really long time, I feel like no one was checking for Meek. I can't lie to you, no one was checking for Meek until he had to do another song with Drake when they come back together. What they'd make? Going Bad. He say, me and Drizzy going back to back is gonna scary. And I used to love Meek. Do you know the thing? I used to love Meek Mill. Dream Chasers 3, that's my shit. That's my shit. Once Drake did that, I wasn't even checking for his name. I was like, who's Meek? Meek who? And I feel like that's just a clear example of when Drake did not allow an enemy to rise. But I think with Kanye West, he has, because there's like that respect factor, and you know, that's his like idol, do you know what I mean? That's someone he's looked up to, probably someone he got a lot of inspiration from. He didn't want to crush him, you know, he probably had some sort of, you know, hey God, that's my big brother. But I think like he should have. Like, I don't know if it's possible for Drake to crush Kanye. That's the thing. I don't know. Like, that's the thing. I would love to see it. As a rap fan, I would love to see it. I just realized, like, my mic hasn't been on this whole time. So what the fuck is it even in the fucking frame for? That's what I want to know. So I'm going to read a quote from the book, which was just talking about a person in the book. But I'm just going to replace the person's name with Drake, so it just sounds a bit more like you can understand what I'm saying. In Drake's gradual but remarkable rise to the top, he was never naive. He knew that any hesitation, any momentary weakness would spell his end. If every time he got rid of a new rival, a new one appeared, the solution was simple. He had to crush them all or be killed himself. Very hard to fucking swap the fucking pronouns and shit. And another juicy bit. Your enemies wish you ill. There is nothing more that they want than to eliminate you. If in your struggles with them, you stop halfway or even 3/4 of the way, out of mercy or hope of reconciliation, you'll only make them more determined, more embittered, and they will someday take revenge. They may act friendly for the time being, but this is only because you have defeated them and they have no choice but to bide their time. They do not sound like Kanye. Those two quotes I explained just basically show the difference between how Drake handled Meek Mill compared to how Drake handled Kanye. So yeah, honestly, I hope you've learned something from this, which is that crush your enemies totally or they will become a nuisance later on. Show no mercy, bitch. Show no mercy. Thank you so much for watching. And can you think of any other examples about Drake beef where like he crushed his enemy totally, or any rappers who completely crushed their enemy? I know 50 Cent is another good example of that, because I feel like he shows no mercy to his ops. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next week Monday. Mwah, bye.